Hey YouTube, thought I would give you a quick video on the blast gates that I've built for my shop here. So, rundown on what we have. So in my shop, I ran 6-inch PVC sewer and drain pipe all throughout, coming out of the dust collector and running all the way down the shop to many various tools. So this is just going to focus on the blast gates themselves. I may do a separate video later on the automation of the blast gates, but for now, just kind of give you a rundown on the way I built them. Hopefully you can save some money. I think these are pretty well constructed. I don't have a ton of leaking out of them either. So I used, again, 6-inch sewer and drain pipe. So these are 6-inch sewer and drain fittings. I just bought the slip connectors, and then I cut each one of them in half. I started with some 3/4 inch melamine. So just using this because it was slick on both sides. I just got this at my local home center and marked out on each one of them where I wanted my my hole to go for the sewer and drain fitting. And then based on this, I was able to kind of take each half. I would set it down and then slip that sewer and drain fitting down in there and add some like Gorilla Glue, not the expansion glue, but the other stuff, so polyurethane type glue, just to make sure that it had a really strong bond. And then I went back in, as you can see on this one, and just caulked it to make sure that there was absolutely no leaking around it. So after I got the two halves together, got the two pieces together, then I would add a piece of 1/4 inch MDF. This is the same material that the gate itself is made out of, the center material, the sliding material. And I added a few pieces of tape essentially to give it a little more thickness so that the gate would slide easily in that groove. And then on the outside of it, I added a piece of hardwood. Again, this is probably way overkill, but I like having that hardwood on there because it gave me a good solid place to mount my brackets that I used for my pneumatic cylinder. So the pneumatic cylinder is part of the automation process for these gates. So in the end, after I got the gate in place and everything put together, I would add a couple of just aluminum angle brackets to the top and bottom. I used a 7-inch cylinder. So this was kind of nice in making my own gates because I could ensure that I had full clearance and that my gate was going to open all the way. One of the problems that I saw with some of the prefab gates is that you would get them fully open, but you would still see like half of the gate would be cut off, half of the hole would be cut off by the bottom of the bottom of the sliding material. So once I get mine built, I'm able to cut that hole in there, and it would be fully open all the time whenever I need it to be open. So I also used a small piece of aluminum angle on the top as the mechanism to control that center gate. You can see I did reinforce it with some other wood here. That's because as I started to test these, it was tearing out of that 1/4 inch MDF just due to the stress of being pulled open and closed over and over again. So I glued that in there and then screwed it together with some really small, like number six bolts and nuts. So that's kind of the general way that the blast gate operates. The last step here, you can see I totally blew these out. So this was one of my my last ones that I haven't used yet because I made kind of a mess of it. But the last step then would be to get this open, mark out my hole, take it apart, cut that hole in there so that it's ready to go, and then I can install it. So thanks for watching. Love to get your opinion on it. Have a great day.